Good afternoon and welcome to the campus of Villa Maria Academy Marine Poly Field, a PIAA semifinal matchup featuring the home team Villa Maria Hurricanes and the visiting Mount St. Joseph's Magic. Live on the Sports Fan Base Network, Phila Field Hockey Game of the Week, week number 9, and a phenomenal matchup between two teams that feature 40 goal scorers. Kathleen Simone along with me, and we saw Villa earlier this season against Notre Dame. We know what they're capable of doing, but Mount St. Joseph's comes in with Juliana Kratz with 42 and Ellie Moransky with 44 goals on the season. How powerful is this team offensively?
They're outstanding, and this game will be an outstanding nail-biter for sure, guaranteed. As you said, both teams have prolific scorers. The Mount, kind of a double-edged sword between Moransky and Kratz, and Hannah Miller has been the top producer for Villa Maria. These teams met twice during regular season. Both games were very, very tight. The first game, Villa came out on top, 4-3. Second game, Villa won again, this time in overtime, 5-4. And, we've been at a couple games at the Chamonix game, and the coach said, it's really hard to beat a team 3 times. And it is. At the same time, if anyone can do it, Villa can. If anyone can have an upset win, Mount can do it. So anything goes in this game. I'm, predicting one thing, a really competitive, tight match.
You talk about how close these teams are in terms of the rankings. The seedings might make it look like they're closer 2 and 3, but Villa 9th in the Pennsylvania State rankings, Mount St. Joseph's 18th in the Pennsylvania State rankings. These two teams actually faced each other last year in the district championship game. Villa won. Mount was seeded second in the districts that year. They are again facing each other, this time in the semifinals, a chance for a berth to that district championship game. They're both guaranteed to go on to the state finals, but yet getting that one trophy is always bigger. How much are the emotions going through these players going into this game today?
Huge, huge, huge. I mean, not only is it the bragging rights of being the District 2A champion, but these are highly competitive, a highly competitive rivalry. These teams, they anticipate, they look forward to their games every single time. And to say, hey, I beat Villa, or hey, I beat Mount, that's good in itself.
The captains are meeting at midfield with the referees, getting ready to determine all the particulars for the game. We'll run through the starting lineups. First for the Magic, it's Juliana Kratz, the senior forward, along with Erin McGinley wearing number 3, Megan McGinley, her sister, number 5 in the midfield. Haley Kliggett is number 8, Ellie Moransky, who we talked about with 44 goals on the season, wearing number 10. Kennedy Kliggett is number 11, along with Mary Knizwiski, number 16. Megan Moransky, number 19 in the midfield. Madeline Nowitzki is number 24, the senior defensive back. Number 27, Katie McCallum, and in between the pipes, the senior goalkeeper, number 32, Maeve McCarthy, who comes in with a 96% save percentage on the season. For the Villa Maria Hurricanes, they go with Annie Shaw and Margie Carden. Adriana Iacovelli, the star back in the midline, the junior. Adele Ikabuchi, the senior midfielder, wearing number 4, along with Megan Dillon and Hannah Miller up front. Look for the two-pronged attack from those two ladies today for the Hurricanes. Number 9 is Maggie Powers, along with number 10, Mary Harkins, 22, Colby Dolbra, 34, Kathleen Peretta. She is essentially the captain on the field, leading a lot of the attack and ball play for the Hurricanes. And in goal, the freshman, Abby Zarkowski. There are a number of players in this game who are college committed. We will get into the litany of them on both sides for this game. And before we get started, I'd just like to remind you this live video stream of the Phila Field Hockey Game of the Week is brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions, based right outside of Philadelphia. Payroll Service Solutions is a huge supporter of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll and benefits company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY. And also by YOLO Sportswear, established in 1996. It's a major sponsor of USA Field Hockey, Shooting Star, and Phila FH. Specializing in custom team uniforms and spirit wear, Using online team web stores, let YOLO make your team look awesome. Visit their website at yolosportswear.com for more information. 30 minutes on the clock. We will play 2 30-minute halves in high school field hockey. Phila in the white jerseys with the blue bottoms, trim and blue numbers. Mount in the all purple with white numbers over top of the ball at center field and ready to go.
One thing I want to note also when you were talking about the start of the lineups, which is pretty interesting, is that the Mount has 2 outstanding goalkeepers that split the game. One plays the first half, and then Claire McGuire and Maeve McCarthy. They split the goal, so it'll be interesting to see if they continue with that. It's worked very well for them all season.
A flick pass start from Mount, drops all the way back, lands onto the stick of Catherine Peretta. Peretta tries to go up through the midfield. She's unable to do so. Drops back and pops onto the stick of Kennedy Cliggett, and originally a pass inside gets tipped off by a Phila defender who causes a stick check obstruction at the same time. And so right away we have our first corner of the game, and Mount will line it up. Sends it up top, tipping off of Juliana Kratz. Kratz tries to come across, sticked one, lands onto the stick of Cliggett. Cliggett, a chance shot, bounces through a couple of defenders and then lands in an obstruction by Mount, so it sends back out. Their first shot attempt trying to clear the zone, unable to do so. That gets tapped back. They'll have to get a few quick passes, and they finally do to Margie Carden. Carden has a run down the outside line, tries to go center, cannot find the connection. She was looking for Hannah Miller, dead center of the circle, unable to do so, and it runs to the outside line, but Mount unable to turn it, and so therefore it is a restart for Phila. Phila trying to gain any possession on the backside. This is Colby Dobra trying to look for the line. She goes to the corner, unable to get a possession, and they are trying to move it across the line now onto the stick of Maggie Powers. Powers goes right through. It is kicked away by McCarthy. And Mount trying to get a defensive turn out of the zone, can't do so, but they are quickly tipped off of the play onto the stick of Megan Dillon. Dillon now dragging across onto the stick of Hannah Miller. Miller comes right across, 360 turn, kicked away from McCarthy.
Miller had quite a few touches on the ball, and unlike the game of the week that we saw against Notre Dame 2 weeks ago, or was that last week? 2 weeks ago, she was virtually blocked. They were unable to get the ball to her much at all, but she has had touches on that ball already so early in the game.
Here comes Mount St. Joseph's trying to run down the side. Kennedy Cliggett will have the insert here. Ball tipped out of bounds off the stick of Iacovelli for Phila, and a 1-2 punch from the defense of Phila has them come up with the ball, and now a run down the line with Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi goes across center, landing it on the stick of Mary Harkins. Harkins getting her first ball today. Run up inside, and it's Annie Shaw now, but she is obstructed on the play, so Phila will have to get a restart coming off the stick of Hannah Miller. Miller tries to come through the middle, and Miller this time got initially whistled for the obstruction, but she was not in the circle at the time of the call. Therefore, it should not have actually been called. So 5 yards issued and a corner called. First of the game for Phila, as number 9 Maggie Powers tried to drive the line and was unable to get through a 3-man block. So a deep position in the corner here. This is Hannah Miller on the intake. Up top, stopped right away, and a whip shot comes from Mary Harkins that is blocked by Mount, and Mount has a chance for an exit. Lands onto the stick of Juliana Kratz. Kratz gets her stick knocked out of her hand, obstruction called, and so Mount will have a restart just shy of midfield.
was nice defense by Colby Dobra. Now, I understand it was a foul, but she definitely stopped the momentum.
Sweep position play comes across. A collision between Maggie Powers and Megan McGinley caused Powers to trap down on the ball, so McGinley will get the possession play, but it's going to be Katie McCallum who's going to get the start there. McCallum tries to get it through, lands onto the stick of Powers, and Powers will have the restart after the chop down obstruction. So it will be a restart just a little over the midfield line, and that will come on the stick of Dobra. Dobra will sweep back into the backfield right onto the stick of Peretta. Peretta is tapped right away by the hard-charging Moransky.
Mary Harkins, always effective in big balls, transitioning the ball up to the attack just as she did there. A strong player with great field vision, and looks like she got the ball rolling for Mount on this push.
Margie Cardin
I'm sorry,
trying
for
to
Villa.
Get through for Villa here. She is obstructed on the play, sent it on the stick of Hannah Miller. They go outside into the center. It landed back onto the stick of Cardin, popped off onto Shaw. They are unable to turn it. Ball pushes back out. Mount trying to clear the zone, still unable to do so. Tipped to the corner of the circle, and a corner called as Megan Dillon is stick-checked in the process of her shot. Second corner of the game for Villa.
I was kind of surprised to see Mount's defense kind of settled back, almost like 4 defenders or 4 goalkeepers in there.
Up to the top of the circle, tipped over off of the stick of Mary Harkins. Harkins goes outside line. Third corner called as the approaching player looked to be Megan Dillon, tripped on the play. And I'm going to take that back. It was Maggie Powers actually tripped on the play. Third corner of the game. Goes back up top. This time it goes through the line. Tipped over, shot off of the stick of Ikabuchi. She is unable to do so, and another corner called, fourth and 3 in a row for the Hurricanes.
Nice ball movement by Villa, and again, the Mount defense kind of settling back closer to the end line rather than matching up 1v1 inside the circle.
Hannah Miller back in the insert position. She will go up top to the center. This time they evade Harkins. Lands on, go to same play again, goes right through, kicked away by McCarthy, lands on the stick of Dillon, and she is unable to turn it. So Mount has a chance here for an exit play. Gets onto the stick of Juliana Kratz. Kratz had a battle 1v1 with Dobra, and Dobra wins that one. Draw play here by Miller, coming through into the circle, corner chance, and it instead is an obstruction on the shot to goal. So it turns back the way, and Mount trying to exit the zone. They have been on their heels for a large portion of this first quarter. Now on play here. Sent it back down into the midfield. Line of play with Moransky there for Mount. She is unable to get it, but Villa is unable to clear the zone. So a turnover on the out of bounds, and this is Katie McCallum, the sophomore defensive back, who will have the insert. Goes through right to the center. She was trying to get it to the stick of Moransky, unable to do so.
And I can see why they're looking to Moransky. She's definitely a player to watch on the offensive end, as well as helping in transition in the midfield.
Ellie Moransky, 110 points total on the season, 44 goals, 22 assists. Just a sophomore. Sorry, check that. Moransky, a senior, and one of the star forwards for Mount St. Joseph's. Mount trying to get a run here on play. This is Juliana Kratz. Kratz with some fancy stick work. She goes 1v1 and then gets called as Colby Dobra goes 1v1 with her. Now a chance for a move on the stick of Maggie Powers. Powers trying to get through the purple line that is being created by the Mount defense. She is unable to do so. Dobra will have a restart. Just through about the first 10 minutes of play in the first half. Live on the Sports Fanbase Network, a PIAA District 1 semifinal between Villa Maria and Mount St. Joseph's, two storied programs in the Pennsylvania field hockey landscape.
It certainly is early on in the game, but it's good to note that three players, Moransky, Kratz from Mount, and Hannah Miller from Villa Maria, land in the top 5 in the Phila Field Hockey leaderboard in goals, assists, and points. They are the only three players to rank in the top 5 in all three of those categories. So they are certainly deadly threats for each of their teams. And I find that Villa is really doing a great job of finding Miller, and the Mount's defense is doing an excellent job when she gets it, shutting it down.
A chance for Villa as Adele Ikabuchi trying to get through that Mount wall, unable to do so, but she is triply obstructed, and so another corner, 5th of the first half for Mount, and it sends Hannah Miller back to the dot one more time. Insert comes up top, lands onto the stick of Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi straight shot through.
Oh.
Stopped right by McCarthy, and she is able to trap it and gain possession for Mount. They will take the 16-yard hit, come down the line. They have a chance for McGinley to release here, unable to do so. Pops out of bounds off of the stick of Maggie Powers.
Ikabuchi, who took that shot on the corner, was the leader for Villa Maria in their in their game against Notre Dame.
Villa trying to gain offensive play here, runs through the line. They got possession in the circle. It was on the stick of Annie Shaw for a moment.
Nice
tipped
defense
off by a Mount player, and they try to run up the line. That is Madeline Nikolsky. Had a chance there to get it up the line. She was unable to connect with Kennedy Cliggett, and so Villa back on a run here. Two players in the circle, now swept away, out of play from the circle at least, by Mount. And 3 versus 3 as Erin McGinley goes body to body with Iacovelli. And that is turned the way of Villa, and yet another obstruction call in the circle sends Villa to the corner again one more time.
Villa's been setting the tempo, possessing the ball inside their 25 for a significant amount of this first half.
6th corner for Villa here. They have yet to convert. This one comes right across, and a shot from Maggie Powers blocked away by McCarthy. Timeout called with 17:28 left to go in the first half, and Villa 0 for 6 on corner attempts.
But they're creating corners. They have had numerous opportunities that they've created. The defense for Mount has been impressive, but I really feel like the Mount needs to do a better job of keeping the ball off of some of Villa's strongest players in order to make a run of their own.
This live video stream of the Phila Field Hockey Game of the Week is brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions, based right outside of Philadelphia. Payroll Service Solutions is a huge supporter of high school sports and the Sports Fanbase Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll and benefits company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. And for more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY. And also by YOLO Sportswear, established in 1996. It's a major sponsor of USA Field Hockey Shooting Star and Phila FH, specializing in custom team uniforms and spirit wear, utilizing online team web stores. Yet let YOLO make your team look awesome. Visit their website at yolosportswear.com for more information. YOLO.
You know, One of the things I know, I love the name YOLO. I mean, and the owner, Chris, is fantastic. He really does live that YOLO lifestyle. So we're really happy to have them as another sponsor with us today.
I don't have long hair, so I can't wear their headbands, but I do appreciate a good-looking headband, especially in field hockey when you see all these players with all their crazy long hairstyles. I'm sure the girls appreciate being able to keep their hair out of their heads, out of their faces with the headbands that YOLO puts together.
So, Matt, you've heard me say I love timeouts. I love thinking what's going down in those huddles and what's going to happen when they enter the field, and I'm really looking to see what changes the teams make. I don't know that Phila needs to make much more change other than putting the ball in the goal. And Mount has certainly done a nice job, but they definitely need to shut down Miller, her touches on the ball, and also just the overall attack that Phila's been able to generate.
We have seen timeouts turn into goals in games of the week previously. We'll see what happens here. Mount trying to clear the zone again. Loose ball picked up by Carden. Carden has a chance here. She's turning left, turning right. Nothing to go, but she is able to get the corner obstruction called. That is Madeline Nikelski guilty of the foul there, and a 7th corner for Phila sends, of course, Hannah Miller back to the spot, goes up top, stopped, shot through. Miller had a tip chance there on the shot from Mary Harkins, but it was Nikelski right there to stop the ball, send it out, and send it to a 25-yard hit.
She's been very effective on defense for the Mount, really minimizing goals that are very close to. Her circle defense and her defense just overall has been very impressive.
Ball through off the foot of Rory Williamson.
Lots of pressure on Mount to have so many corners, especially after that timeout.
Back up top, Harkins again. Tries to go through, gets it to the side. McCarthy slide and a save. Lands it onto the stick that looks to be that of
Katie McCallum.
Katie McCallum
really coming up with it fantastic.
Mouth the goal.
As well as the goalkeeper. Now I need to make sure I have the right goalkeeper that started this game, Mae McCarthy. That was a hell of a save she had. And just followed up beautifully by the Mount's defenders.
Maeve McCarthy, 96% save percentage on the season. One of the top 6 seniors on this Mount St. Joseph's team. McCarthy headed to Catholic University next year. A loud stick check there between two players trying to go both for the ball, and yet another obstruction foul called. Pops through, and McCarthy will just see this one away. Actually kicks off of the foot of Annie Shaw, but yet Phila is going to get the benefit of the doubt on the call, and so it'll be McCarthy with a start one more time. Sorry, Harkins. Harkins goes outside line, trying to gain middle of the zone possession. They have Ikabuchi there dead center. She can't do anything with it, and it taps back out. Top of the circle again, 25 out. Harkins again with the start. This time she goes to the side, trying to draw the Mount defense. Mount just putting up a mountain of problems for the Phila offense through the first half of this half.
Phila using the right side of the field, and very characteristic, the center of the field for them. Seem to be working the ball up the right more this game, which I think has proven effective for them. And Mount's just got to really make a connection in that midfield to get that ball rolling into their attacking end.
Iacovelli with the insert there, tries to go through, gets it onto the stick of Hannah Miller up center. Miller tripping left, tripping right, over top of the line of the circle. Stick check obstruction called. And another corner, 9th. 10th.
No, 9th.
9th. We are right. 9th on the half so far. Miller goes back to the spot, the traditional set of Harkins up top. It goes through Harkins, lands onto the stick of Maggie Powers. It tipped off of Powers' leg, and here's a chance for Mount. Quick 3-on-2 up front. Sideline run that's onto the stick of Haley Cliggett. Cliggett has a chance there. She gets bodied out onto the stick of Yacovelli, but Mount here trying to gain hold, pushing it back into play. Kennedy Cliggett now trying to gain play. She's got it to the stick of Devin Lasky. Check that. I'm sorry, that's going to be actually Megan Moransky.
Megan with great ball speed, progressing through a crowd of people, but blocked by the Villa defenders.
So Moransky with a chance there for a run in play. She is unable to hold it. Comes back out. And now a lifted hit goes into a dangerous play situation. And so Mount is going to have a restart, and it's going to come just shy over the midfield line. Offensive zone possession for Mount. Restart will come off the stick of Kennedy Cliggett, the sophomore midfielder. She goes lifted in switch field position, landing it onto the stick of McGinley. Megan McGinley here with a run inside, trying to find Juliana Kratz. Kratz, unable to do so, lands back onto the stick of Powers. Powers obstructed the body completely of Megan McGinley. McGinley has a chance here. Corner called. Check that. No, it's actually going to be a offensive foul. So an offensive obstruction, and we'll send it the way of Villa. They switch fields as it comes off of Mary Harkin's stick down on the line, landing on the stick of Margie Carden. Carden here with a run down the line. She gets it through to Annie Shaw. Shaw obstructed, so she will just have a self-start. Tried to drop back to Hannah Miller, tipped off by a Mount player, and then Miller turned her body, obstructing the ball. So it will go to the Mount defense. They try to clear through and get it onto the stick of Megan Moransky, and Moransky guilty of a few issues there as it sends through, ball popping across a Villa player. That was Miller, guilty of the call there. She popped it up into the body of Kennedy Cliggett, and so it sends the way of Mount for a second, but that ball just goes straight out of bounds, and so a restart comes outside from Yacovelli. Yacovelli through to Miller. Still no goals on the board as we sit just a shade over 10 minutes left to go in the first half.
Yacovelli has done a nice job stepping up. Really, just that last play, intercepted a pass. She's been a strong anchor for the defense, as well as Mary Harkins at the center defense position.
A diving stop and a save by Maeve McCarthy keeps the board clear and causes a few Mount players to scramble, blocking some bodies and sticks in the process, and so the 10th corner of the half is called. Miller up top to Harkins. Harkins shot attempt. She decides to go wide, tips onto the stick of Ikabuchi. She has a shot blocked away by McCarthy, and a run here by Mount on the stick of Kratz, but she is tripped up and pulls the ball with her foot.
Pretty remarkable that Villa was able to get off 3 passes on that corner. And once again, Maeve McCarthy really showing why she is one of the Phila Field Hockey Senior All-Stars, and we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Dover restart to Carden.
Oh!
Lands onto the stick of Hannah Miller, and it is a wicked rifle goal for Villa as they now lead the game 1-0 with 9 minutes to go in the first half.
That was outstanding. I mean, that was frankly unstoppable. It was placed so high with great force. The upper left-hand corner just whizzed by the goalkeeper.
So it will be Hannah Miller with the goal. On the assist from Margie Carden, you can give a second assist to Colby Dobra on the play. 22-2-7, and it is a rifle shot goal for Villa, but look out because here comes Mount the other direction.
If there's anything that's going to get a team fired up, it's when your opponent just scored. So I think Mount's going to lay it all out here right now. We'll see what happens, and if they can create an offensive opportunity, which frankly their really only offensive push was that first corner less than a minute into the game.
Nowuski trying to get something going there for Mount. She is unable to do so, causes an obstruction, sends it back the way of Villa, and it will be a restart here with the out of bounds on the outside line. Sends to Miller in the center. She will draw through. Tries to get it onto the stick of Carden. Gets it to Carden. Carden coming across. She is bodied out 1v1 in a battle with Madeline Mikulski. Mikulski gets the better of that and sends Mount running the other way. A fast break move. Check Juliana Kratz. And she is bodied out there by Iacovelli, causing the slow of play and allowing Villa to reset their defense. But a run by Juliana Kratz fired up the Mount offense.
Really surprised they took that long to set up. They were numbers up by 3 or 4 players, and the Villa's defense had a whole chance to reset.
Mount not taking advantage of the self-start rule there caused a little consternation for them, and it sends back the way of Villa. Hannah Miller with a run here, and then she is called for starting a little too quickly. Hard start coming back on the line from Mary Harkins, just sends it flying out of bounds, and so a 16-yard hit for Mount with 6:40 left to go. Quick start goes through the entire Mount offense as they were trying to make a great snap start to Haley Cliggett. She was unable to corral the ball.
Looks like the Mount substitutes are on their feet, cheering, rallying on their team, hoping for a goal quickly.
Well, they know they're not out of it yet. You can take just a look to the Notre Dame game. Villa came out very quickly, scored 2 goals right away, was up 2-0 going into halftime of that game, found themselves on the reverse side of a 3-2 Notre Dame victory by the end of that game. So Mount certainly taking that as a little bit of solace to know they're not out of this game yet. Just 1 goal the difference right now. 5:45 left to play here in the first half, and an offensive chance now here for the Magic as they will get a restart just about 20 yards out. Quickly started by Kennedy Cliggett. She goes to the outside, unable to gain possession and play, so it flips back, and Megan Dillon has a straight run down the line.
The Mount playing a little bit more of a defensive game. They've got, on that offensive push, they had 5 players back to to Villa's 2. And you're absolutely right, Matt. This is obviously anyone's game. So much could happen. But I think Mount's got to show a little bit more of that offensive strength that we haven't seen yet this game. And maybe that has them concerned more than just a 1-goal deficit.
Mount trying to make a few fast breaks in their last possessions, but they have been unable to gain connection to the zone. Now they're going to have a chance here for an exit pass. They get one through the midfield, tips off of Juliana Kratz, but goes out of bounds as she had no purple jerseys behind her. So it will go to Colby Dobra, and Dobra will get the restart here. Slaps through, lands onto the stick of Miller. Miller goes outside. They have Annie Shaw in the middle of the circle. She is option 1 along with Harkins up top. This is Harkins, aforementioned here, tries to sweep through. That is tipped off. It goes off of Harkins' leg and lands onto the stick of Juliana Kratz. Kratz has a chance run here. coming all the way down. It's going to go off of a Villa stick and across the line, so Kratz will have a quick restart. Goes through into the circle, a pickup chance. Out of position comes Zarkowski to make a very long save and has to scramble back quickly as she had two offensive players on the opposite side in Moransky.
That is confidence, though. That aggressive move by the goalkeeper, impressive. Got that ball right out and back in Villa's hands. Megan Moransky has been very effective in that midfield position on the defensive end. Definitely sensing a little frustration from them not being able to work the ball from the midfield up to the attack, but she has been a stronghold in there.
Moransky, one of three pairs of sisters on this team, along with the McGinleys and the Cliggetts. So it is one where you have to put first and last names in when you're talking to any player regarding them, and they are all in the starting lineup for this team as well. So 6 of the 11 players in the starting lineup from Mount St. Joseph's taken up by 3 families. 2.5 left to go here in the first half. Villa leading 1-0 on a rifle shot from Hannah Miller as Mount St. Joseph's trying to break anything they can on the Villa back line and put one in before the close of the first stanza, but they are in a hole right now as Villa has held offensive possession for the past couple of minutes and continues to do so with Miller up top of the line here. Miller goes 1v1 against Kratz, still drawing through. Miller, chance here to Annie Shaw. Shaw gets taken 1v1 on a couple of defensive plays and then corner called as you could hear the sticks clacking left and right in the 11th corner on the half for Villa. Miller at the insert spot one more time. Up top onto the stick of Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi's shot lands into the feet and through a kick ball goal. Megan Dillon knocks it. Check that. No goal scored. They're going to call Megan Dillon for the kick.
Oh, wow. It's hard to see from this vantage point, and the official's right there, so I'm sure it's a good call. But, again, a well-executed corner, but no ball in the goal.
So while the ball hit the board on the back of the cage, they're going to call the kick off of Megan Dillon. So no goal called. And now Juliana Kratz has a reverse stick run here for Mount before she's tipped off of the play by Mary Harkins.
Mount seems to have a different strategy in the attack. They have Kratz often carrying the ball a good 10, 15 yards. Mount's connecting with more short passes in transition and then as well as inside the circle.
Harkins' restart goes right in the body of Elizabeth Moransky, and with 30 seconds left to go, Mount's going to have a quick start here. They are unable to connect it to anyone on their side. Instead, it connects on the stick of Adele Akabuchi. She has the chance here to carry out the half. She goes to Annie Shaw. Shaw loses possession of it, lands onto the stick, and a run down the line tips back out. Again, Ikabuchi has it here as we are down to 6 seconds left. Mount has no ability to break the zone here as they are blocked by 3 Villa defenders, and the horn sounds ending the first half of play. Just the one goal on the board has the Villa Maria Hurricanes 1-0 over the Mount St. Joseph's Magic in this PIAA District 1 semifinal, and it really has been defensive matchups minus Hannah Miller's rifle.
I mean, it really has. Hannah, you know, I've said it before, she's just way too open. She scored the one goal and has just been setting the team up over and over. So I think the Mount's going to have to match up on her definitely tighter. The breakdown for Mount, pretty obvious to see, is really the midfield transition. They're getting the ball out of the defense beautifully, great defense, but when that ball works its way into the defensive transition, not really connecting passes in there, not even able to get up to the attack. So I think they need to fix that. Once they do, it's anyone's game.
Hannah Miller's 42nd goal of the season has the Hurricanes leading 1-0. We will take a short break and be right back on the Sports Fanbase Network. This live video stream of Phila Field Hockey Game of the Week is brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions, based right outside of Philadelphia. Payroll Service Solutions is a huge supporter of high school sports and the Sports Fanbase Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll and benefits company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY. And by YOLO Sportswear, established in 1996. It's a major sponsor of USA Field Hockey, Shooting Star, and Phila FH. Specializing in custom team uniforms and spirit wear, utilizing online team web stores, let YOLO make your team look awesome. For their website, visit them at YOLOsportswear.com for more information. Matt Jolis along with Kathleen Simone live on the Sports Fanbase Network. Second half action underway here from Marine Poly Field at Villa Maria Academy. Villa Maria against Mount St. Joseph's in a PIAA District 1 semifinal matchup. Villa 1 goal on the board off of a rifle shot from Hannah Miller, her 42nd goal of the season, has the Hurricanes leading the Magic 1-0. Now trying to get a offensive start with a switch field there as they were trying to connect Megan McGinley, unable to do so. Villa has offensive possession, and their insert doesn't even go in the line. It just goes right out of bounds.
You know, I talked a little bit about Hannah Miller and Mount's need to kind of mark her tighter, I thought. But I have to say, it's only a 1-goal game, but it's really been a group effort for Villa. They seem to be relying on every player out there in the field. And Mount's defense has certainly been stellar, hoping to see the team connect a little bit more in the midfield and get the game evened up. I'm rooting for both teams. I'm rooting for a great game.
A piece of note here for Mount St. Joseph's, Maeve McCarthy remains in net. That is a difference of what has been going on throughout the season, where Claire McGuire has come in and played the second half in most of the games throughout the course of the season. They have done so throughout the course of the playoffs, but this time trying to ride out that of the senior goalkeeper. So McCarthy stays in net today.
And she's done a remarkable job. It's hard to break down her momentum and send someone else in.
Ball position play here for Mount as they have a chance on the inside line. That is tipped away, and it is Mary Harkins with a run here for the Hurricanes. Gets it to midfield, trying to land onto the stick of Hannah Miller. Miller, though, is guilty of obstruction against Megan McGinley. So a chance now for the Magic. Sweet shot down the line from Kennedy Cliggett. She is unable to connect with any of her teammates, so it goes back through Carden, trying to get it onto the stick. She cannot do so. It is picked off by Rory Williamson. Williamson had a run, and now she will get the restart lift. Fleck from Williamson gets tapped down, lands onto the stick, and Villa has a run here. Through the middle off of the stick of Harkins. Harkins gets onto the stick of Margie Carden. Carden tries to go through. She is obstructed just outside of the circle, so restart coming through from Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi goes to the line and a baseline out hit. So it will go for Villa up top, 20 yards out. Restart goes across to Iacovelli. Can't control it, so it goes out of bounds. It will be onto Haley Cliggett. Stick for Mount St. Joseph's. Restart. Check. She will drop it for Rory Williamson. Williamson trying to go for Cliggett. She can't get through. Lands onto the stick of the one goal scorer of the day, Hannah Miller. Miller drops that off for Harkins, and Harkins is obstructed. Harkins here in the midfield trying to get play. Stick check, drop stick from a Mount player. That was Megan McGinley. She picks it up, goes right back in, and makes the defensive play. 3 players in a bundle right at the top of the circle, and the guilty party called is Mount St. Joseph's. So a corner first of the second half, 12th of the game for Villa. Going to the outside is Mary Harkins, this time with Miller up top along with Annie Shaw. Goes short in line, pops up off of the stick of Ikabuchi. Diving down for it was Harkins, and she got her stick into the face of a few different Mount players. So dangerous play called. Restart here. Goes sweep shot down the line. Chanced out by Megan Moransky, unable to stay in. Onto the stick of Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi trying to make a run here. She has the self-start going through wickets of players. Bounces out of play. Miller with a chance there. She chops down and comes across the body of Kennedy Cliggett. In doing so, a restart for Mount. Williamson goes again. That is tapped down by Carden. Carden tries to go through. Her sweep is checked out by Megan Moransky, and a run down for Juliana Kratz. Kratz on the sideline now evades Dobra. Kratz right to the center of the field. Reverse position. Sweep shot goes through. Tipped away. And the defensive possession by Colby Dobra.
Nice attempt by the Mount. And again, Kratz kind of leading the charge on that. Carrying the ball for a good 5-10 yards and firing off a nice shot.
A wide open field play there. Sent through by Harkins. Lands onto the stick of Dillon. Dillon goes down the line. Lands onto Annie Shaw. Shaw showing the condition change that has occurred. She had long sleeves on during the first half of the game, shed the long sleeves during halftime as the sun has warmed both the field and that of the players as well, too, through this early afternoon.
It's a beautiful view from this little hill. You get an excellent perspective. You get a really excellent bird's-eye view of the game, or not bird's-eye view, just sideline view, close to the players.
On the stick of Kennedy, Cliggett bounces through to Kratz. Kratz goes 1v1 against Dobra, and Kratz, guilty of the ball obstruction, will send it back the way of Villa. Restart coming from Mary Harkins. Harkins flicks it, tries to get up top. That is tipped off by Kennedy Cliggett, and Cliggett sends, but she is only picked off by Hannah Miller. Ball through the midfield of play here, picked up and drawn on a run from Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi comes across that of Megan Moransky. Ball into the circle and swept away off of the stick of Madeline Nikelski. So a 25-yard hit coming from Villa. 22 and change left to go here in regulation. Deep shot to the line on the side. It's Margie Carden. Carden goes through. She is blocked by both Williamson and Moransky, and a corner called, second of the half for Villa. Sends Harkins to the spot with Miller up top. Short option is Ikabuchi. They go to Ikabuchi on the corner. She goes, sweeps through, and it goes flying off of the stick of Nikelski. So it will be a hit for Villa. They go quick start, trying to gain space. This is Carden on the outside, along with Dillon. Dillon tries to go to the center of the circle. She is just picked off by Megan McGinley, who sends it the other way. Now Kratz has a draw. Carrying along Juliana Kratz, the offensive captain of this Mount team, and she will need to break the mold if the Magic are to come back and tie this match up. Outside line start now from Megan Moransky. Moransky carries through, lands it onto the stick of Kennedy Cliggett. Cliggett goes through. She has Erin McGinley in the center. Chance through. Obstruction called. As you could see, Cliggett goes spinning around. And a restart will come just outside the circle from Megan Moransky. Moransky draws around top of the circle. Stick check called on the line. Corner called.
First corner of the half and second of the game for the Mount. If this is not an opportunity, I'm not sure what is. We're going to have lots of players up there against the Villa Maria's defense.
It will be Megan Moransky going to the spot. She has her sister Elizabeth Moransky up top. Moransky to Moransky. Trying to find Kratz. Juliana Kratz has a midfield position. She is unable to do so as McGinley tried to get an insert. That is tipped off and picked out by the Villa defense, and two players blockade, causing the third-party obstruction call, sends out, and Villa switches field, landing onto the stick of Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi draws. Pass down, landing to the stick of Carden. Carden tries to hold control, tic-tac over the line, and it goes back to Mount. Flick position goes up, blocked into the body of Margie Carden. Restart quickly coming from Ikabuchi. She is just drawing along the line, tipped and checked by Kennedy Cliggett.
Excellent ball speed.
Outside of the circle, so it will be a restart for Villa. They go to the baseline here for Miller. Miller is just taken off of the ball, but gains back the control of it. Baseline one more time. She is able to hold it in, and Miller forces the corner as she goes 1v1 and causes Williamson to commit the obstruction foul.
She created that corner with three defenders right on top of her. Adele Ikabuchi, Hannah Miller, and Mary Harkins working in tandem very effectively, as well as the other attackers and other players for Villa. As I said before, I really feel like this has been a team effort.
Harkins to the short option. That was Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi shot, but he turned her body in the process of, bounces off of a few Mount defenders, so it will be 30 yards out for Villa.
Mount now has everyone packed in there inside their defensive 25. Earlier in the game, they kept a few out. They don't want another one in there.
10 players back, but Madeline Nikelski is obstructed on the shot there. She was trying to get her stick into play, and the aforementioned Nikelski will get the things restarted for the Mount. A chance play here. Bodied out is McGinley. That's Megan McGinley, and so she will have a restart to go. Down the line, trying to get to Kratz. She does. Kratz gets right around. Colby Dobra has a run of play to the center. Moransky trying to curl it, can't get it, and it goes through, and Kratz has to commit the foul, and it sends back Villa's way. Time out called.
Great defense, great breakup of that offensive push, which kind of looked like it may have been going for the Mount.
So a timeout called in this live video stream of the Phila Field Hockey Game of the Week, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions, based right outside of Philadelphia. Payroll Service Solutions is a huge supporter of high school sports and the sports fan-based network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll and benefits company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY. YOLO Sportswear is the exclusive headband supplier to USA Field Hockey. Shop the complete collection of USA Field Hockey headbands and their ever-expanding lifestyle collection on their new website, www.yolosportswear.com, or pick one up at the many field hockey events YOLO attends throughout the year. And be sure to follow YOLO Sportswear on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And we thank YOLO Sportswear for joining us for the Phila Field Hockey playoffs. This is a District 1 to a semifinal between the Villa Maria Hurricanes and the Mount St. Joseph's Magic. Both of these teams already gaining advancement to the state playoffs, but these two teams battled each other for the district title last year, so someone is getting a chance at the district title this year, and then someone is going away just heading to the state championship.
Exactly, and another one of the teams that the winner of this Villa Mount game could be facing another Catholic Academy team, Marion Mercy, who is squaring off against Great Valley right now. I'm trying to get an update on that score, but I don't have one. But one thing I want to mention also is really interesting. These teams are so competitive. All of the teams, we had our ninth game of the week poll, and it literally came down to the last 15 minutes as to who was going to win this. This is the last game this season. We will have a poll. We will skip next week, and we will cover live streaming for Game of the Week for the PASA, Pennsylvania Association of Independent Schools Athletic Association State Final.
And that game will come up November 13th at Bryn Mawr College. We will have all that action live here on the Sports Fanbase Network. Villa with ball and run of possession here through the second half as they try to see this one out. Here's Miller on the ball now to Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi draws through the midfield, switches it on the outside, has it to the stick of Harkins. Harkins sweeping shot in, and it goes to the goal, but of course well outside of the shooting circle, and so it will just be a 16-yard hit for Mount St. Joseph's.
The first part of the second half, I thought there was more evenly distribution, possession time between the two teams here. This timeout, we'll see if there's any changes made, but definitely a nice showing from Mount this second half.
Flick down the side there from Katie McCallum, tried to be pulled in by Maggie Powers, but we are playing field hockey, not lacrosse, so it is a little bit more difficult to get the corral, and she is only able to just deflect it out of bounds. Draw through now as it comes on to Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi going left, going right, and picked off of play, and then swept through the midfield. That is on the stick of Nowicki. Now here is a body-to-body action play with Moransky and Yacovelli. The whistle blown. Moransky had been taken out of possession, so a call for Mount. Tries to get onto the stick of Aaron McGinley. Unable to do so, and it tips back and sends the other way with Carden. Carden tries to go through. 1v1 battle. That is Kennedy Cliggett. But it is going to be Carden who wins that battle.
You see Mount's defense collapsing a little bit more on some of the midfielders for Villa, trying to stop the ball.
A shot there from Miller goes through, tips off of that of Maeve McCarthy, the goalkeeper for Mount. Kennedy Cliggett, no stranger to the scoring book as well. 38 points on the season, 12 goals on 14 assists. A sophomore midfielder showing her prowess on both the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. Here's Juliana Kratz trying to come through, tipped off by Dobra. Kratz and Dobra have been in battles with each other all day long, and here's now a chance on a run, and Kratz goes 1v1, this time against Mary Harkins, and she comes up with the obstruction call, and so a restart goes right through center. Ball pops out, and they're going to call it off of Mount St. Joseph's. Off of Mount St. Joseph, so a 16-yard hit for Villa. 13 and a half left to go in regulation. Villa leading 1-0 on just that first half goal late in the first half off the stick of Hannah Miller. And a call that creates a little bit of reflection out of the fans. Cheers to one side, groans to the other, but yet the Villa defense continues to stand tall, sends it back. This is Ikabuchi, goes center to Shaw. Annie Shaw trying to get through, and a corner called as it kicks up off of the foot of a few different Magic players and lands in for a fourth corner of the second half, a 15th of the game for Villa. To the spot goes Mary Harkins for the insert, has Miller up top, Ikabuchi short. Goes to Ikabuchi, sweeps across to Miller. Miller can't hold on to it. Now she has to go reverse position, sweeps through, and it is clear of all obstructions, so a 16-yard hit for Mount. 12 and change. Down the sideline again, trying to release Kratz. This is going to have to be pushed through by Williamson. She can't get it. Tries to go to McGinley to the outside, and a running cross field from Yacovelli. Unable to gain it, and it goes back onto the stick. Moransky flick restart. Clips through that of McGinley, landing onto the stick of Elizabeth Moransky. Chance there. She can't get it. Tipped out of bounds by the Villa defense. Timeout called.
Looks like one of the players might need a Band-Aid, kind of the sense I'm getting. She's running off the field holding her hand up.
Timeout that was called, and it looks to be that for an injury, so just a quick substitution on play. Does not leave Villa short-handed in that situation. The downed player is Catherine Peretta. Peretta has been a star in the center back position for Villa all season long. They'll want to get her patched up and back onto the field as quickly as they can. Mount trying to get a break here. Goes onto the stick of Kratz. Juliana Kratz, 1v1. She has it to the stick of Elizabeth Moransky. Moransky can't control it, but it is called off of the stick of Yacovelli, so it will be a restart, 30 out for the Magic.
Great defense breaking down that push to goal.
Kennedy Cliggett mishits there, comes all the way back to Williamson. Tapped over onto the stick of Cliggett. Goes across, landing onto that of Nowuski. Nowuski gets it across to McGinley. And McGinley trying to make a run there. Down the line, tripped right in the center of the circle. No call made, as Juliana Kratz had the second shot, but Elizabeth Moransky tripped right in the center of the circle, and no call by the referees.
Really strong defense by Villa Maria. I mean, definitely Mount has upped their game the second half, have created opportunities, just can't get it, even really many shots on the goalkeeper.
Chance play here, trying to go right down the sideline is Hannah Miller. Miller is just going 1v1 against two different defenders, and of course Mount guilty of the third-party obstruction there again, and this time Miller guilty of the obstruction. Dangerous play as she lifted the ball up into the body of the approaching Megan Moransky. Restart by Williamson. Williamson tries to go through the Villa defense. That is taken out of play by Ikabuchi. Sends it to Miller.
Powers.
Drop back left for Maggie Powers. Powers goes to Carden right at the top of the circle. Restart Miller here, trying to go through. Stick check from Williamson. And it goes on the pass back. Evades that of Yacovelli. And then Yacovelli tripped Moransky in the exchange of position. No call made. Things getting a little chippy here, and now a card is going to get called And that is going to be Kennedy Cliggett getting a 2-minute penalty.
Playing with a man down is significant, and especially at this point in the game, a little over 8 minutes left, down by a goal.
So to the box goes Cliggett for 2 minutes. 8:39 left to go in regulation. Over top of the ball is Adele Ikabuchi. Waiting for the whistle by the referee. Finally whistled. Ikabuchi will go and just draw through, and she is clipped by Erin McGinley. Restart again with Miller here. Miller goes to the baseline, and a miscommunication there between Miller and Ikabuchi sends the ball out of the baseline. 16-yard start for Mount. 8 minutes left to go, and Mount trailing by 1. What do they need to do here to try to break the white wall of defense that has been put up by Villa?
They're going to, I think, have to look to more players than just one in transition. They're definitely feeding the ball to Juliana Kratz, who's done a nice job, but there's other really able players, and I think if they can put the ball on the stick of some of their other players and connect in the midfield, they could open this up and make it a 1-1 game.
And here's another card pulled out as Megan Moransky tried to go for the spin reverse position and chopped out the stick of Adele Ikabuchi, and she is guilty of a penalty called, and she is now in the box for 2 minutes. So Mount now down 2 players with 7:38 left to go and trailing by 1. Ikabuchi goes across to Harkins. Harkins goes right into the middle of the circle. It is tapped and blocked down by Williamson, and now Williamson 1v1 carries it all the way out, and here is a chance. It goes back, and Colby Dobra has to pick it up. Again, Kratz is right with her. Ball stays inside the line. Chance to send down here. Annie Shaw in the middle of the circle. Ball tips up, and a obstruction called will send Miller for a restart. She will drop it back, sending across the line. Comes through back to Dobra. Now back across into the center back position. Carried up by Peretta. Peretta tries to come across. Gets it to the stick of Miller. Miller going left. Miller going right. Miller blocked, and a shot goes up over top of everyone. And a ball for Mount.
Pretty impressive that she can get that shot off so closely marked with 3 or 4 players right on her back. Mount fans are a little upset that the ball did not get in play quick enough.
Mikelski getting it up, and Kratz has it 1v1 against Dobra. Dobra kicks it back. It gets picked up by the approaching Megan McGinley. McGinley has a run, and Kratz is going to try to go to the corner again, but this is going to go across the baseline before she can reach to it. So it will be a 16-yard hit for Villa, who has no problem with taking time. Restart now for Villa. They try to come across. Curling ball picked up by Ikabuchi. Ikabuchi evades one Mount defender, comes back across to Miller. It tips off of Miller's stick, is picked up by Nizuski. Nizuski tries to go through. That is picked up on the errant pass by Yacovelli. Yacovelli runs, and she is bumped by the Kennedy Cliggett, who has come back into play now. Now this is again Ikabuchi trying to run through a play, tries to go through the Wiggets, and she is called as she just drew it right in, and a miss hit completely by Megan Moransky, and a pickoff on the restart by McGinley has them headed down. Here's Moransky, and Moransky is dumped, and this time they do call it. Tempers flaring, and the fans on both sides flaring as well with 4:50 left to go in regulation. Restart here. Cliggett has a chance, drives inside, lands right onto the stick. It pops up into the face of Iacovelli, but lands back in down and called obstruction by Mount and a timeout called. What a flurry of activity in the last couple of minutes.
Absolutely. I mean, 2 cards, jeering fans, ball bouncing back and forth between the 25s. It's pretty action-packed with about 4:30 remaining in the game. The Mount has definitely upped their game. Second half has looked strong. We're going to see if they can get that ball in the goal and tie up the game. The Mount again. Villa. Strong defense, outstanding transition game. It's anyone's game still, even with 6.5 minutes. I'm willing to say that.
YOLO Sportswear, established in 1996, is a major sponsor of USA Field Hockey, Shooting Star, and Phila FH, specializing in custom team uniforms and spiritwear, utilizing online team web stores. Yet let YOLO make your team look awesome. Visit their website at yolosportswear.com for more information, and also don't forget to visit them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Game reset for you. 4:36 left to go in regulation. Villa Maria leading 1-0 over Mount St. Joseph's on the single goal late in the first half from Hannah Miller, her 42nd goal of the season. And that is all we have put into the scorebook in terms of goals scored. We did have 2 cards issued, and at a point with 7:38 left to go in this second half, so just about 3 minutes ago, we had Mount St. Joseph's playing down 2 players after receiving 2 green cards for 2-minute penalties, but they were able to erase that advantage with no goals being put forth from the Hurricanes offense, and so we stand in the timeout still at 1-0, and if you are Mount St. Joseph's coaches, you have to be preaching break with numbers now.
I'm sorry, what with numbers?
Break with numbers.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to play to win at this point. You can't be putting all your defense back there, and you know they've executed their game plan well, but it's putting that ball in the goal and looking to other players, other able attackers, midfielders to make a difference.
Abby Zarkowski, the freshman goalkeeper for Villa Maria, strong to the task today, trying to drive the Hurricanes into another district championship game, what of course as a freshman would be her first. But she has 4.5 minutes left in which to block the cage out, and a quick turnover on the restart by Villa has Mount with a chance here. Deep corner possession play, trying to get Haley Cliggett up in the mid. That is tipped out again, and so a restart comes. 25 out.
Taking a while to get this set up with the clock ticking.
Restart, they go deep corner again, trying to gain line. Villa comes across on the play. Hannah Miller, defensive push, but she is unable to get it out of play. Restart goes again. Megan Moransky coming across. This one just gets tipped through into the body of a Mount player, so it is going to be a turnover. Villa restart, and a flick pass comes all the way through, lands onto the stick of Margie Carden. Carden has a chance here for Annie Shaw. Annie Shaw is able to go body to body with Williamson and come up with the ball. So it's going to be a restart again on the obstruction. Ikabuchi here. Flick to the opposite side of the field. Clear possession of play. Lands it to Maggie Powers. Powers 1v1 with Kratz. Powers still holding the ball. Goes into the purple wall. Still out with it. Powers again. And that is blocked by Moransky. And Moransky, quick hit, but she does not break with numbers. So it will go all the way through out the baseline, and a turnover sends it to a 16-yard hit for Villa. right idea trying to go fast break. Did not have the numbers to connect with it. 2:45 left to go here.
Phila has had Hannah Miller at the midfield position, center midfield, this game, instead of at the attack on the forward line. So between Miller, Ayakabuchi, and Powers in that midfield, it has been very difficult for Mount to mount their transition game.
Moransky, reverse position shot, lands through, tipped away, and blocked down by Zarkowski.
Beautiful shot, had it directly on the goalkeeper's pads, waiting for her fellow attackers to finish that ball.
Ayakabuchi now through Mary Harkins, sends it all the way down. It goes across and out of bounds. Mount with the ball and 2 minutes left to go. Back play here, landing through. Williamson trying to get anything she can started. Nizruski tries to get a start there, and she is incorrect in her start. So it is a turnover. Phila will have the ball at the same position.
This is a game of defenses. And the last 2 times they met up this season, it's been 4-3 and 5-4. Here we only have 1 goal between the 2 teams.
Carden trying to go for the quick restart there. She is whistled back as the clock ticks to 1:20 left to go. Miller draws to the back line, obstructed by Megan Moransky, and will send Miller for a restart. Drops off to Ayakabuchi. Ayakabuchi taps back left, taps back right, and a deep line called with 1 minute now, under that 1 minute left to go. Phila trying to hold out. It would be their 3rd victory of the season over Mount St. Joseph's, but the biggest one, as it would send them to the district championship game. Just 43 seconds left to play in regulation. Now a draw through by Harkins, tipped and thrown out of play for a moment, but then right back onto the stick. That is the stick of Hannah Miller, just showing some fancy stick work with the left and right reverse position play. Obstruction called, and with 20 seconds left now, restart again. Ayakabuchi, she will draw back. Phila seeming content to just see play out as it goes out of bounds. Mount will have a ball, but there's only 8 seconds left on the clock. It will tick down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Villa Maria Hurricanes are headed to the PIAA District 1 2A championship game. A 1-0 victory over the Mount St. Joseph's Magic.
Certainly, Phila came in like a storm and played like a storm the entire game. They were relentless, stepping up to balls. Their midfield line, as I said before, was extremely strong, and I think the Mount really had a hard time transitioning the ball in midfield play. Hats off, though, to Mount for posting a much stronger second half, playing maybe not as defensive, pushing the ball up on attack maybe a little bit, a little too late for them to execute that change. But both teams, as you said, are heading into the States. I expect great success for both of them. Now, the winner of the Marion Mercy Great Valley game, I'm sorry I'm not able to get an update, will face Phila in the finals on Saturday at Methacton at 3:30.
So just the 1 goal on the board today. That came off of the rifle shot from Hannah Miller, her 42nd of the season, coming on the assists from Colby Dobra and Margie Carden. Gave the Hurricanes the 1-0 victory. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the Payroll Services Solutions post-game show. You're watching the Phila Field Hockey Game of the Week on Sports Fanbase Network. On the Payroll Services Solutions post-game show, Villa Maria Hurricanes a 1-0 victory over the Mount St. Joseph's Magic. They're headed to the District 1 2A championship game, and joined by the defensive player of the game, Colby Dobra. You had a defensive battle today going 1v1 against Juliana Kratz, and then you also got yourself offensively on the book, helping out to get Hannah Miller for the goal. Talk about that defensive issue today.
So she's just an overall like really good player, so what I had to do was put myself in front of her, and once I marked the ball with the help of my mid Maggie Powers and we got it to Hannah, like everything, it came together.
So a victory for you guys, of course. You're headed to yet another district championship game. The emotions on the huddle in the sideline going through that as you found out you crossed the 0 mark and get the victory.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I'm so blessed to be on this team. Like, I'm just like, I'm just so excited for it. Like, my whole team is awesome. Once we all work together and we can achieve like what we did today, it's just awesome. And it's really hard to beat a team like 3 times.
Offensively, you help out, secondary assist on the Hannah Miller goal today. Sequence play, going through that, being able to get the ball to Miller.
Yeah, she's just an amazing player who's able to cut. And once I see like that open play and I cut for her and I pass her the ball, like it all just comes together and it's just an awesome play. I'm so proud of her.
Well, congratulations. Good luck in the game.
Thank you.
We're going to play Saturday at Methacton High School. We'll see who the winner is of that game later on today. And we're going to pass it down the line here and bring in the player who the fans just yell Adele, and they're not talking about the singer. They're actually talking about number 4 on Villa Maria, Adele Ikabuchi.
Adele. Oh, yes, I do. You jumped up down there. No, you were like this.
So a 1-0 victory for you, and the emotions of heading back to another district championship game.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
All right. Just the emotions of heading back to another district championship.
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course, because I'm a senior, it's like what I wanted. I wanted to come to the district championship. I think we're all really excited. I think that there's a lot of, like, emotion just because it's Marion, but I think that we're going to come out strong and hopefully play a good game against them.
Defensive battle today, a lot of play in the midfield. You were able to get balls out to that outside line and seemingly break a plane getting down. How are you able to get a lot of that possession through? Mount seemed to be breaking hard.
I think that using the outside was the key because I think a lot of the players were concentrated in the middle. So once we got to the outside, the whole lane was open and we had that whole right side to work with.
Hannah Miller, the 1 goal on the day today, a rifle shot. How great is it having a player like that?
Oh, it's so fun to play with her. I've been playing with her since I was in 1st grade, so we've had a lot of like experience together, and I think we're really comfortable playing together.
You're headed off to another championship game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. We're going to grab the player that we've been talking about through most of the game and most of the post-game show, Hannah Miller. Rifle shot, 1 goal in the cage, and it's the only one on the day. You're 42nd of the season. How awesome is that to be the game that sends you guys into the championship?
I think it's such an honor to be able to score that goal just because we've worked so hard to get the ball in the cage through practice and our entire season, and it was a total team effort, and for me to get the last touch on it, I'm just so honored.
17 corners on the day for you. It's a little frustrating sometimes when you can't convert, but yet you guys seem to just go through that so effortlessly. How much work do you put into those corners throughout the week?
We work on them a lot. At the end of practice, we usually spend a half hour to 45 minutes on them, just perfecting them because we know how crucial they are and to get them in the cage because they can change the entire course of the game. If we scored on even one of them, it would have been a whole another game out there. So we know how important they are, and we just have to capitalize on them more next game.
A 1-0 victory over Mount St. Joseph's, the 3rd time this season that you beat them, but this one has to feel the sweetest as you're headed to another district championship.
Yeah, it's such an awesome feeling because we've worked so hard for this, and we knew coming in that they were going to be a strong team because we played them twice before, and we just stayed strong, played our game, and I'm so glad to see how the outcome turned out.
Well, thanks for joining us. Good luck to you on Saturday in the championship game.
Thank you.
That does it for Week 9 of the Phila Field Hockey Game of the Week, presented by Payroll Service Solutions and YOLO Sportswear. We are off next week. We will see you November 13th at Bryn Mawr College for the PASA Championship game. From Matt Jolas, Kathleen Simone, and everybody at the Sports Fanbase Network, thank you all and have a great night.